Hello guys, moving on with the second part of introducing the economic calendar on our project Binary Options Academy. So actually I invite each and every one of you to go on fairbinaryoptions.com, check the Binary Options Academy project, and there we are looking at, we have very interesting and educational material, starting with the technical analysis side and with principles of the technical analysis, and now we are talking about the fundamentals or the news or the economic news that are influencing markets. They are moving markets, and this is the reason why we are here. While on the first part of this introducing the economic calendar, we've introduced you the forexfactory.com, but such an economic calendar can be found on multiple sites. Just go on Google and search for the economic calendar, and you'll have a lot of free websites that are offering for free. I would like to present to you on this recording, on this second part of this project, what or how to trade with the or how to interpret the economic calendar. As you see here on the right, you have the previous, the column with the previous, the forecast, and the actual. What does it mean? For example, this is the German preliminary CPI. Now the CPI stands for inflation. Sorry for that. Stands for inflation. This is Consumer Price Index, the economic term for inflation. Now the CPI is extremely important for any central bank, because if the inflation goes to the upside, or if there are inflationary pressures, then the central bank will be forced to come and raise the interest rates. Raising the interest rates is being interpreted as being positive for the currency. So this is the currency, euro, German preliminary CPI, and then you see the release here. The previous, see, this is M/M, means month over month. Now this is the previous release. This is April the 29th. The previous release in March, it was 0.3%. The forecast. Now this forecast here is being made by economists and all these research companies like Bloomberg and Dow Jones and Thomson Reuters and so on and so forth, big guys, and they are doing the forecast for that economic release, and the average is being positioned here. And then the actual means the actual data that is released on this day, and then it comes the interpretation. There is the detailed box here. Now if you click the detailed box on each and every release here, you'll have a description of actually what it means. So if the actual is bigger than the forecast, this is good for currency. Then you go here, and the actual is minus 0.2%, and the forecast was minus 0.1%. So definitely this is not good for the currency. And if you are trading binary options like we are doing here, then looking for put options after this release is the logical thing to do. One more thing that's important on the economic calendar is this color code, if you want, or the impact of the news on the currency pairs and on the currencies. Whatever you see with yellow, I would disregard, as this means low or no impact expected. Whatever it is with orange is of medium impact. If the actual differs big time from the forecast, then I would say markets are going to move. But you really want to know what is happening, or when the red economic news are going to be released, as those are the ones that are making markets really move. Take a look here. This is the Japanese yen, the Bank of Japan press conference. When? On Wednesday, the April the 30th, and so on and so forth. The CPI flash estimates for Europe and so on. If you click on next week, if you want to find out the important economic events to be released next week, then see, in Australia on Sunday basically we'll have the building approvals month over month in Australia. Now if you are trading the Australian dollar, then you make sure that you know what that release is going to be. Or the final manufacturing PMI in China. Why is that important? Because if you are trading the Australian dollar, you want to know that almost 1/3 or more than 1/3 of Australian exports are going to China. So if the manufacturing sector in China is going to decrease, then this would affect the Australian dollar pairs, because there is not going to be a strong demand for for Australian goods as well. Well, I would say that with these two recordings, you have an idea about about how to interpret the economic calendar. I am moving on now with the other fundamental articles and projects we have here on Binary Options Academy on fairbinaryoptions.com. Thank you very much. Bye bye.